And welcome to the Home-Based Business Success Podcast. Today's topic, what does it mean to be an entrepreneur? Coming up next. All right, everybody, this is Ralph, and today we're going to be talking about what does it mean to be an entrepreneur? And I'll also be talking about what is the difference between entrepreneurship and wage employment, because in the home business niche, in the BizOp community and all that, people do get confused. We get people that will be biting on business opportunities and thinking it's a job. And there is a big difference between being a business owner, being an entrepreneur, and being somebody that is employed, for wages. There is a huge difference. And I was looking up on Google, using Google AI, to kind of see what Google AI was saying about being an entrepreneur and entrepreneurship. And I found three definitions here that I think really strike home. First one, entrepreneurs are business people who find their success by taking risks. See, the vast majority of people that want to go out, find a job, earn a living by working for somebody else, are they the kind of people that are going to be taking risks, that are going to be thinking, boy, I want to get this job because it sure is risky? And yeah, some jobs can be risky. I've had family members and friends who have been killed on the job because, yeah, they were kind of high-risk jobs. A few of the jobs that, some of my friends and family have been in didn't really seem to be like high risk, but boy, they can be dangerous. But that's not the kind of risk that we're talking about here. This is being willing to risk your own money on a business venture that may or may not pay off in the short term, but which you believe will pay off for you in the long term. And you're willing to risk your own time and your own money on getting into that business. And that leads me into my second definition of what it is to be an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur, according to Google AI, which I think this is a pretty good definition here, is someone who starts a business, takes on risk, and is willing to lose money in order to make a profit. Now, this is what really separates an entrepreneur from a wage laborer. An entrepreneur is willing to lose money short term in order to make a profit long term. An entrepreneur is not somebody who's going to be worried about spending, $7 to $10 a month on a business opportunity. They're going to be worried about, does this business opportunity give me a chance to really make my dreams come true? Is this worth my time? Is this worth my effort? Is this something that I really believe in? Is this something that I can use? I mean, work my tail off for a few years so that I can be willing to sit back, relax, and live the kind of life that most people only dream about but never realize. And that right there is what separates an entrepreneur from a wage laborer. Entrepreneurs are not out there looking for a steady paycheck, get paid every Friday doing a job that they hate. Entrepreneur is willing to risk some of their money, put it into a business with the belief that that business will pay off for them, but have no guarantee, because in entrepreneurship, it is a risk. There are no guarantees, but we get into it because we believe it is worth the risk and our dreams are worth the risk. And then my last definition. An entrepreneur is a person who organizes and operates a business or businesses, taking on greater than normal financial risks in order to do so. So folks that want to play it safe, people that just, want to not risk any of their money, who want a sure thing, entrepreneurship is not your path forward. And, some entrepreneurs, we start out working as wage laborers. We start out with wage employment in order to get our money to the point where we can afford to invest in a business. But at some point in time, we have to make that transition in mindset from the mindset of being an employee to the mindset of being an entrepreneur. And it can be a fine balancing act to be involved in when you are in the position of being both an entrepreneur, building your own business from home, and at the same time being a wage laborer, working an outside job for somebody else in order to pay the bills. Sometimes we have to do both. Because not all of us, were born into families where, I had $1 million that was given to me in a trust fund, and I decided, what the heck, I'm going to put it into network marketing and see what happens. A lot of us entrepreneurs, I would say probably the vast majority of entrepreneurs that I network with, we had to work for our own money in the beginning. We had to work jobs in order to get our finances to the point to where we could finally figure out a way to make our money work for us instead of working for our money. So when you are in that position, you really have to, when you're working for somebody else as a wage laborer, you have to put on your worker's cap and just fulfill the function of being a wage laborer. But then when you get home, you've got to take off that wage earner's cap and put on your entrepreneur's cap and start thinking a whole new way. Because as an entrepreneur, I cannot blame my boss when the home business that I run starts having problems. I can't blame a boss or anybody else for the bad business decisions that I have made. I cannot blame the boss for times when sales are slipping and I have to get out there and really hustle to keep the home business going. I cannot blame a boss because I am the bloody boss. And on a job, when you're working as a wage laborer, oh, sure, you can blame the boss all you want. You can blame the boss. You can blame the company. You can blame the board of directors. You can blame the U.S. government and the president for not taxing millionaires and billionaires enough. You can blame everybody except yourself because you don't have to take much responsibility for anything. As a wage laborer, all you have to do is show up for work, do the bare minimum, and still pick up a paycheck every Friday. As an entrepreneur, it's a whole other world. You cannot get by with that mindset. And that is what sinks a lot of people when they first try to get involved in entrepreneurship. Because they don't want to take responsibility. A lot of folks that get into home business and entrepreneurship on a small scale, I can tell from the get-go that a lot of them really aren't ready to make that transition because they've got all the wrong thoughts going through their head. Their thinking is just completely skewed. It's like some people will worry about, okay, this business costs $7 one time. Wow. Should I really do it? Or should I just take that same $7 and go down to Starbucks, get a cup of coffee and maybe a breakfast roll and spend my $7 that way? If you're thinking like that, you are not cut out to be an entrepreneur, at least not yet. Because an entrepreneur doesn't see the $7 one-time investment as being a deal killer or even something that has to be thought about very deeply. What has to be thought very deeply for an entrepreneur isn't the cost of the business, but can I make this business pay off for me long term? And of course, an entrepreneur knows that in the beginning, when you launch a business, when you buy a business, when you start your own home-based work, whatever it may be, you are probably going to be losing money in the beginning because you've got startup costs, you've got advertising, you've got the knowledge that it may take you some time to build up your customers and find the customers who are interested in whatever it is that you have to offer. And you realize that there are no guarantees, but you're willing to take that risk and you're ready to take that risk. And when a person is thinking like an employee, risk is the last thing you really want to worry about. The main thing you want to worry about is, can I get the job? And how often does it pay? Does it pay daily? Does it pay weekly? Does it pay bi-weekly, monthly? And, I've worked in all different kinds of jobs as a wage laborer and salaried employee. And yeah, I've been in all different situations. But when I first became an entrepreneur, that's when I realized that I've got to think differently. I can't get by with the same thinking that I had being an employee as I do being an entrepreneur. Because if you do, you're probably not going to be successful as an entrepreneur. It's just a totally different world. So if you're afraid of taking risk, if you're not willing to risk any money, if you don't have any money to risk, then don't be an entrepreneur. Stay with being a wage laborer until you feel like you're ready to become an entrepreneur. I'm not one of those guys selling home business opportunities, saying, oh, this is great, this is wonderful, everybody should be doing this, because I realize that not everybody is cut out to do this. This lifestyle of being an entrepreneur is not a lifestyle that everybody is geared for. And I certainly wasn't geared for this lifestyle 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. It's something that I really had to grow into. And now that I've grown into it, I can't imagine any other way of making a life and having a life than that of being an entrepreneur. But clearly this is not for everybody. But if you are willing to take a few risks, to gamble on yourself and your own future, you're willing to get into a business and risk losing your shirt, then I would say you have what it takes to be an entrepreneur. One of my favorite entrepreneurs that I like to listen to, and I need to get back into his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But oh, wow, I can't even talk right now. I'm getting so excited. But the entrepreneur, Robert Kiyosaki. And Robert Kiyosaki, in one of his presentations that I listened to, talked about his first experience in being an entrepreneur. And he got into a certain business, and he went $1 million into debt in that business. And he says he called up his rich dad, probably looking for a little sympathy, and told his rich dad, I just lost $1 million in my business. And his rich dad said, congratulations. You lost $1 million. Now you get to figure out a way to get that $1 million back. And that's when Robert Kiyosaki really realized from his own personal experience that entrepreneurship, it's not about getting rich quick. It's about taking risks, going into debt, and making that debt pay off. And since then, Robert Kiyosaki, he's an interesting guy. I mean, I know debt-free millionaires that started out either average or below average means, who then started generating, 7 figures a year income and are now debt-free. Robert Kiyosaki is not in that group. He's a millionaire who is in debt, and he has figured out a way to make debt pay off for him. And he's still an interesting guy for me to learn from. I'm still of the mindset that I want to get out of debt as fast as I can. Still have a few debts that I'm taking care of. But Robert Kiyosaki, he would say, find a way to make that debt pay off for you in the long run, and don't worry about getting out of debt. But whether you're a debt-free millionaire, whether that's your goal, or you want to be like Robert Kiyosaki and finding a way to make debt pay you rather than cost you, you have to have the mindset that I'm going to take the risk needed to realize my dream, to build my business, and I'm willing to bust my tail to build my business, work as many 8 and 10-hour days as it takes to get my business going, not make any excuses about how stupid the boss is, and that's why the company is failing. No, can't do that because I am the boss. You just have to get that mindset. Boss up and be willing to take the risks necessary to make your business pay off. And so, to wrap this up, the key difference between a wage laborer, an employee, somebody working a job, and an entrepreneur is that the person working a job, they're looking for the easiest way generally to make money. And they're looking for something that's a sure thing. I show up 5 days a week, do the minimum amount of labor and get paid either the minimum wage or slightly above, or whatever the wage that you're shooting for happens to be. But you're looking for something safe, secure, and sure. And if you're trying to keep a roof over your head, food on the table, yeah, that's what we have to do in the beginning. And we do have to keep that in mind. But when you're an entrepreneur, your priorities shift. You're no longer looking for a sure thing. You're looking for a risk that has the potential to pay off. Entrepreneurs, another definition of entrepreneurs that I like is that of being a gambler. Because you're not gambling on, say, poker or roulette or slot machines or, blackjack. You're betting on yourself. You're betting on your own abilities. You're betting on your own ability to learn. And you're betting on your business. And if we know how to have confidence in ourselves, make the right bets at the right time, take risks, but also do what it takes to manage those risks well, then you can make it as an entrepreneur. But if you're looking for the safe and secure route, being an employee, is the best path for you to take. So, hope that clears up what the difference is between an entrepreneur and somebody working a job. And if you're a person that's looking for a job, I know it can be confusing. I know it was confusing to me about 20, 30 some years ago when I first started looking at, internet work and business opportunities and jobs and all that. I didn't know the difference between them. But, when you're looking for a job online, it's not the same as getting involved in a business opportunity. Because when you get involved in a business opportunity, you are becoming perhaps a low-level entrepreneur, but an entrepreneur nonetheless. And you have to have the right mindset for it. You have to be willing to risk what you can in order to attain your dreams. And a person that just wants a job, person who just wants a job doesn't want to take any risks. They don't want to lose any money. They want to make money. And they want to make money like clockwork. Every Friday I go in, I get paid that paycheck, go out, drink the weekend away, and then show up for work on Monday, all hungover and saying, "Okay, boss, let's do it again." And, for some people, that may be their perfect lifestyle. But for those who want to have more in life, who want to become more, who want to be more, then the path of entrepreneurship could be your way forward. So, if you're looking for a job online, don't go out there biting on business opportunities because, biz op is not the same as a job. Biz ops are for entrepreneurs, jobs are for wage laborers. And sometimes we have to do both at the same time, and that is tricky. It takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of discipline, mental discipline, and it just takes the willingness to do the work that has to be done and not goof off. And a lot of people don't want to do that either. But if you are willing to put in the work and do what it takes for a year or 2 years, working both a full-time job and trying to build up a home-based business, it can be done. I've been there, done that, and I know anybody can do it with the right mindset, but not everybody will. Not everybody wants to. Now, if you're interested in taking a look at what I do as far as being a home-based entrepreneur, just go to my link, ralphshomebiz.com, and I'm putting that link in the program description down below. But just go ahead, click on that link, check it out. Again, it's not the kind of offer for everybody, but what it is a affiliate marketing school. It teaches you how to do affiliate marketing, how to do online marketing, how to do social media marketing, and it pays 80% recurring commissions when you sell the academy to other people. So it's a lucrative offer. It's a valuable offer in more ways than one because I'm using it to further educate myself on what it is to be an online entrepreneur and to become a better affiliate marketer, network marketer, and online marketer. And the training in this program is just incredible. The trainings are just incredible, including the mastermind trainings that we have. So if you want to check that out, check it out. See if it's right for you. All right. This is Ralph signing out. Thank you for dropping by. Catch you in future updates. Until then, take care and have a good one. Bye-bye.